Sup guys? Just finished making this little tool here, which will help you calculate what the best set of auxiliaries are for your battleships. Depending on who you ask, people will often give you different answers to that question based on their own judgment, which usually tends to be wrong. This tool will hopefully put an end to all of that once and for all. You can do all the calculations here in a spreadsheet, but I thought it would be a good idea to make it more accessible for casual players to use. So let's go ahead and give it a try. First, I'm just going to hit evaluate and see what we get. In the spreadsheet here, I also did the same calculations, so we can cross-reference to see if the results do match up with the numbers. First, we have the black and white shells, followed by black and yellow, and then black and the rainbow fire control radar. But since we didn't check the HMS option, and we didn't check the Admiralty fire control table option as well, we will be going to the next best, which will be black shell and high performance fire control radar, and then white and table, and we don't want the table again, and then we'll be at yellow and table, which we don't want, and white and high performance fire control radar. Let's see what happens if we do check HMS as well as the Admiralty fire control radar. So we can see it's going to be black and white, black and yellow, and then black in the table, which does line up with this here. Black and white, black and yellow, black and table. You can also take AA guns and augments into account if you wish, which will change the auxiliary combos quite significantly. I didn't account for the skill of the augments, so if you're using a triple battleship setup, you should probably use Officer's Sword on at least one of them. In that case, add the Officer's Sword's stats into the parameters, and then don't select augments in the considerations. Now let's try a real example. Let's say I want to know what equipments to put on Musashi against Queen Elizabeth meta. We can see here she has a base firepower of 506, and then the guns give a total of 110. Fleet tech, we get 70. And then if you were to take into account cats, which we obviously don't for the meta fights, you can find the cat stats here. And don't forget the buff that you also do get from cats, which you can input in the buff section. However, we can just leave that blank for now. And then accuracy, you can't actually find the accuracy in game. So what you can do is go to the wiki. Unfortunately, the English wiki only has the accuracy for a non-oath ship. So if you don't want to do some math, in order to find the oath accuracy stat, you can just go over to the Chinese wiki. And here, you can adjust her level to 125, and then see her stats at 200 affection, which is 78 for accuracy. None from equips, 26 from fleet tech. And before we forget, Musashi has a 20% firepower buff, and then she also gets another 20% from Mikasa's buff, as well as another 5% from the Z flag. So we have a total of 45%, so we put 45 there. And then for the accuracy buff, she gets 5% from herself, and then another 5% from Z flag, for a total of 10. Her luck is 33, and she has 15% bonus main gun crit damage. So we put 15 here. And then as for the enemy stats, Queen Elizabeth meta has 75 evasion, 25 luck, and is one level higher than 125. Now we will check off everything. Not HMS, of course, and Admiralty, yes. Plus 13. And let's see what we get. So the best combination, oh sorry, should be 15 here. So the best combination will be black shell, Admiralty fire control table, and then actually the 134mm and bowgun, despite her evasion being quite high. So I guess the rainbow table is all the accuracy you need really. And then the Auxes don't change, while the augments and AA guns do for the second and third best options. Let's do another example now with Vanguard, just to see if the yellow shell is worth using at all. So we'll assume the same fight and the same team. And our base firepower this time will be 446. And we get 90 FP from guns. Fleet tech is the same. Buffs, she has no FP buff of her own, and she doesn't get 20% from Mikasa, so just 5% from the Z flag. Accuracy, she does get 12% from her own skill, and then 5% from the Z flag, so that will be 17. As for her accuracy, we can check here, again. Level 125 at 200 affection. 85 accuracy. Her luck is 52. No critical buffs, and everything else should be good. Don't forget to check off HMS, and we do want to force shells only because of timing reasons. And indeed, the yellow shell is the best option over the white shell. And that's mostly because when you have high enough accuracy and firepower, the crit damage bonus becomes a little bit more valuable. If, for example, we reduce the accuracy, or we reduce the firepower and the evasion of the enemy, then the white shell will overtake the yellow shell, as you can see here. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys find this tool helpful. And if you find anything wrong or have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I'll see you guys in a few days when the new event drops.